What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. I got the dog sitting next to me, just like, what's going on? So today is a pretty cool day. You can tell just by the handle and the sheath that this thing's about to be no freaking joke. I think she knows now when I start doing this, we're about to go outside and test, and she's ready for that. So this was sent to me by Scabber, Mr. Scab over at Choir Boys Outdoors, courtesy of Mr. Vic Lynn, the owner of Work Tuff Gear Knives. And here's a disclaimer. I'm not a huge Tanto guy. I'm not. I just don't look at the Tanto and go, oh yeah, that's nice. A couple lines, that's a great design. Disclaimer, this is a great design. So let's check it out. It's pretty beastly. It's pretty beastly, and it comes across as not a straight couple of lines here. I didn't measure it from here to here and then from like here to here, but even if it's just an optical illusion, it looks like this drifts downward somehow, and it could be because of the way they design the grinds. And just that little illusion, just that little bit of optics is fantastic. I think it makes it look really freaking cool. The grip is nice and big. I really like it in the hand. I think it feels good. Okay. Let me let her out. That dog of mine. So, all right. So getting into the design first, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this sheath because Work Tuff Gear does really nice Kydex sheaths. A lot of people don't like Kydex because they say, oh, it dulls the edge or this and that. I like it. I think that having water drainage, awesome. I think that having the two holes right here for leg strap, awesome. I think that adding enough holes all the way down so you can add attachments like ferro rods and all kinds of different things, awesome. I think that having multiples all the way down is great because of lashing cordage. Awesome. There's just so much that's good about this. It's perfectly molded. It fits immaculately. Now, generally, this one doesn't have it because I got this knife before its actual release date, and I don't know what today's date is. Today's the 27th, so they are already out. I believe they came out either the 24th or 25th, so I'm a little late to the game as far as when it comes out, but it's good because it's ready right now. So if you like what you see, and you're probably gonna, then you could jump right over there. I'll put the information right down so you can get over to the website and check it out. As a designer, is there one thing different I would do in the design? Yes. The only thing I would do different in the design is right here. I would have brought it more this way. So when you hold it here, your finger locks in because you'd have to bring your hand all the way up just to lock into that guard. Now, would that be a deal killer for me? No. And the reason is because he did such a good job designing this area that it holds your hand in place in the middle. Generally, I just like to have something tucked in right here. So now I feel secure. My hand is in there. It's nice and tight. It feels great. So a little bit more of a kind of radius right here, I think would have been you're pulling hairs when you're saying, oh, what would you have done different? And then nothing else. I think this is fantastic. And that's designer to designer. And I want to see, let's see who designed this. See if it's on there. I don't know. That's something I guess I'll have to look up. But overall, let's see. Designer. I'm looking at the webpage and trying to figure out who did. Okay, so it doesn't tell me doing that. I don't know because I have to probably read the whole thing to figure it out. I'm going to read it. All right, I'm not entirely sure who exactly. Oh wait, yes, I do. I can see it now. I was about to say maybe it's just an in-house thing, but no, it's Julio Diaz who designed this. Thank you, Julio, for designing this. This is really nice. This is really nice. You can see the cant down forward, and what that does is, unlike a traditional Tanto where they're generally straight all the way through, it goes from just a slasher to being a chopper just by changing that angle. That's a mathematic angle as a designer you put in. It's what makes the kukri so devastating. You can see if this is held flat, where this line is, like with a kukri, a lot of times your tip, your point line, is going to be almost like about here on a kukri, right? Sometimes you'll see a knife, a lot of times with it centered in the handle where the knife comes down. This tip is below that point, so it's probably right around here, or maybe even a little bit lower is where your tip goes. So that means the devastating area, the most devastating area from hitting is going to be right here where that bend is. That's where you're going to want to hit with. Your chops are going to have most of their momentum and most of their power buried through this section right here. And that's a good spot to hit. You have the armored piercing tip already in the Tanto design naturally, so that's good. I like the fullers. They're pencil fullers, nice and thin. What they're good for is a side grip. So if you have a big knife like this, a lot of times you're not going to be carving with a knife from the grip. A lot of times what you're going to want to do for more control, now I can use my fingers and my thumb to manipulate angle. Use that side grip, this grip right here. You'll see how that locks into the wrist. Now I can carve. I can carve really easy, really steady. Everything would be nice. And that's all in design. You can see that the grip is really well done. The liners are really well done. Everything about it is just beautiful. You have a lanyard hole. So if you want, you can take a lanyard. This one happens to match perfectly and throw it on there and you would be fine. All in all, pretty sweet. Overall sharpness, brand new out of the box. Let's see. It's worked Tuff Gear. I just lost a bunch of it, but it's still on there. And you can tell by the very bald spot on my arm, that is razor sharp. That is razor sharp. But let's take it outside and hit with it. All right, so I'm checking out the balance of this thing, and I'm stepping in a hole. And the balance, you can tell it wasn't mathematically measured as far as the mean, the central balancing. There's a whole equation you do because it's forward. The weight is definitely forward, but you can tell by the fact that he canted it that he wants it to be forward. So there was really no need for him to go ahead and try to put out this crazy measurement to try and figure out where your center line is going to be. It's not necessary. When you have a blade canted, it's made to be forward. So I think the measured area of this, or the unmeasured area for weight balance, I think it's completely unnecessary to do anything that is going to change what it is. Right now, you can see it gets around really nice. It's fluid in the hand. It's heavy. It feels good, and it wants to move forward. The knife wants to continuously move. And when you're talking about a knife this size, something that wants to move continuously, that's exactly what you want. You don't want to force movement with your blade. You want the blade to want to move before you even try. And I think it succeeds. It succeeds itself very well there. So let's see. All right, there. So, I mean, just shaving wood. If you're going to need to make tent spikes and pit spikes, and you're going to build yourself a little chair or a little shelter, and you need to start getting pieces down to fit into other pieces, I think this is going to be really good. Another good thing with the Tanto tip, and I will have to put that down and bend you guys down a little bit. Another good thing about the Tanto tip is when you're talking about bow hole drilling, having that together point makes it really good. Having a long handle makes this really good. But you can really start to get a twist in there, and now I can press down and turn in both directions, and I'm not worried about damaging this tip, right? And so what's going to happen is I'm not going to split the wood accidentally or overcut by trying to carve something out of the center. And I can use this for two different things: for bow hole drilling, for fire making, or if I really wanted to spend enough time on a wide enough piece, I can make a hole wide enough to where if I do shave another piece down, I can use it as a peg in a slot. So if I was going to build like a chair, or if I was going to make a shelter, what I'm doing is going to spin myself a nice hole in here, right? Save this because this becomes tinder. With this hole, I need another piece here. If I have a bigger piece, right, what I would do is shave down the end. And this is going, now there's a couple different ways to do it. You can shave it down, or you can chop it down and then shave. And what that'll do is gets away all the thick pieces, leaving you with a nice thin workable piece. So from here, it looks like I'm just about good. So what I would do is take that, wedge it into the hole. Now it can't go up or down. The only thing I would need to do is tie it on straight. So I would use my cordage to figure eight around there, and that would help secure it. So if I am building a shelter or building a chair, having the ability to place something like that, especially I would take two pieces, make another hole right there, and now I have a brace, right? I have a standing brace. So that kind of thing is really important. And with a tip like this on a knife like this, especially with its size, it averages, I mean, it offers its own leverage. And because it offers its own leverage, it's going to do the job for me. So I think that is great. So let's see. Let's see, you know what? Before I do any of that, I want to take some of this packaging strap, right? This is package strapping, it's plastic. We're just going to put an edge against that. It's super easy. And then with that Tanto tip, we're going to just do a poke and rip, and so we can slice through. Obviously, it's going to eat this plastic stuff up. It's kind of a joke to even cut with it, but when you test a knife, you want to cut with different mediums just to show that it will do it. So you have that, and now I have a garden hose. It's got rubber on the inside, nylon on the outside. What we want to do is, it's so easy. It's so easy. We're just getting another rip. We'll turn it around. We'll rip it. We'll rip off the other side. Look at that. It went straight through something I wasn't even cutting. And we're just gonna do that. That was my own fault, but it ripped straight through. Now we're gonna take it. We're gonna twist it into a nice hard piece, and we're gonna try a push cut with this knife. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that Tanto tip as my cut, and it was just easy. I mean, that's just easy. This is a big knife. It's made for swinging and striking and chopping and hitting. So for it to be easily hitting these smaller tasks, these small knife tasks, come on. That's just wonderful. That is wonderful. All right. Let's see here. Got you guys in the shop. And I keep saying I'm going to screw that down one day, and I just never do. I never do. Got so much. I'm always going out and hiking and hitting rodeos and having fun. I forget to do the stuff I need to do. Watch out, girl. Come on. That thing's going to break off. I know it's going to break off because the Tanto X is going to do the work. It's just really, really nice in the hand. It's super comfortable. Golly. Now, you can say things. I can say, oh yeah, it's comfortable in the hand. It's really nice. That's all opinion. How I say it feels, that's me, right? If I say, oh, it could have curved here a little more, that's me. That's opinion. Fact, this thing is a beast. It hits hard. It cuts well. It does what you need it to do. Now, if I was doing a tabletop review and I said, fact, this is a great cutter, that's not a fact. That's a guess. That's an opinion. But since I'm out here using it, there's no guess there. This thing really is that great. All right, let's give this thing some stuff that it's born to do. It's a hitter. It was made to hit. He designed it to be a striking weapon. And I say weapon because it's going to be a fighting knife. It's a fighting knife that is a camp knife in all its glory. It's a double use knife. This is the one that it's exactly how the cowboys, when they traveled out west, or when they first discovered the western land in America, they chose something because they were on horse. They were on one horse. They didn't carry a shovel and an axe and a pick and this and that. They chose a big knife to do everything they needed to do, from cooking to shelter building to defending themselves against bear or other people to everything. So they needed one knife to do all. And while they didn't usually have a tanto, they had a big knife that is made to do all. And that's exactly what this is. And that's exactly what this is. This is Arizona hardwood, right? This is hard. This is dried, hardened, just no joke. Oh, that's comfortable. Okay, swinging that, the how he did his belly right here. There's no over curvature in here. There's no lift up here. There's no width right here. It's slab sided. That's comfortable. That is an any hand knife. I really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's a steel beaver. That is awesome. It's your gardening tool, your survival tool, your fighting tool, your shaving tool. It's just a cool looking tool. This thing's pretty badass. So if I was gonna put it into like a category, yes please. This thing is super duper dope. It's really nice. You'll notice that it's a 90 edge all the way here, except right here where you're gonna put your thumb, made for comfort. If you're gonna choke up, it's gonna be comfortable there. Reverse grip. You want to keep your thumb off the top. Oh, that one doesn't bend. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not really made for that because it goes in, then out, then down. Just here, then down would have been good for the thumb. But because it's so big, you don't need to put the thumb on the top. It's just right there. So if you're here, right? Fantastic. Super, super well done work, Tuff Gear. I think this is a really nice piece, made to perfection, designed well. It's got all the stuff. It's got all the stuff. He even has a cool logo on there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it in the sun, but it's just cool. It's just cool. I just stepped on my dog. Yeah. So follow the link below. Check it out if you're a Tanto guy especially, and you're looking for a Tanto that's just maybe a little beefier than what you already have. Maybe you got that what do you call it? That one from Cold Steel. No, this is way better. This is way, way better. Miles apart. Fantastic knife. All right, so check it out. That's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.